Up Ascension athlete. Sorry, I bumped that. Take 3 here. I keep hitting the wrong button and deleting this. So hopefully I can quickly cram in all the info in that I've done in the previous one. So I get a lot of more questions this time of year about transformations, weight loss, and whether X diet is a good thing or whether I think this workout's a good thing. And I think that's partly because of the season. The days get shorter, activity goes down. Most people are doing more parties and family events and maybe not eating as good as they should be. So I want to quickly go over how anyone can completely transform their body or health and what is required to get that done. So it's a basic math concept for like losing weight or transforming our body is to eat less and exercise more. Most people are okay with that line of thinking and there's no issues there. So the logic isn't hard for most people. It's the emotions behind that are the issue that keep people from actually reaching their goals. So you feel like you've done pretty good and it's okay to not do it today, or you feel tired so you don't go into the gym. That's what I mean by the emotions behind it. Like change is hard. So like our body, we're going to kind of resist change at first. So we need to make sure that we're doing everything that we possibly can to get this thing right. So it's either the emotions or the belief systems behind that. So I'm sharing the 5 things that you can do to change the way you look, feel, all that good stuff. So we're going to start with number 1, the most important thing, and we're going to start by tracking. So tracking what you're putting into your mouth is usually the first step for everyone. So if you're not tracking or have never tracked before, something simple, MyFitnessPal is great. They got a free app. You can download it, track what you're eating every day, get a baseline of what your calories are. So it's generally accepted to lose 1 pound to 2 pounds of body fat. You're going to need a 3,500 to 5,000 calorie deficit for the week. And so that may seem super complex right away, but the simplicity of tracking what we're going to eat and getting our consumption to be the same linearly over a 7-day period is really what needs to happen. So you don't need any fancy plan or fancy diet. But think of it this way, like it doesn't matter how well your keto diet is. If I eat 4,000 calories and it's a perfect diet, like I'm not going to lose weight because I am consuming an excess of calories. Does that make sense? So getting a baseline of what you're actually eating now and then start moving that down incrementally until you see the change that you want. So tracking is number 1. Like most people are kind of doing this number all the time, and that's your biggest issue. And like you eat good 5 days a week, and then 2 days a week, you have everything you felt like you missed out on. So get to tracking. Number 2 is going to be exercise. So what I mean by this is it's simple. We create a deficit through calories or through increasing exercise. So the reason why I have them both listed together is like you shouldn't do it all in one place. So you can increase the deficit that you're creating per week by exercising more. So if you exercise 0 times this week, like start out with 3. If you exercise 3 times this week, you can get a 4th session in, you are going to burn calories through exercise and lose weight and get a lot of other benefits from it. So you can increase your exercise. That isn't the long-term solution, just like diet isn't the long-term solution. Like you can't continually work more and more and more and more and more and expect to not have some fall off and not plateau out. So that's why it's important to be doing both. Number 3 is the most often overlooked stuff, and I wrote down lifestyle. What I mean by lifestyle is there's other factors that play important parts in weight loss. So number 1 would be sleep. So understand this, like when you're asleep, you're going to see like your body go through these changes. You're going to lower the hormone functions, cortisol, all those kind of things that come along with training and diet and deficit. Like those are going to be taken care of when you're asleep. Okay, your body also produces growth hormone, all the great stuff when you're asleep. So it's super important that you sleep. So just like the other things, we're trying to fix them in an incremental approach. I suggest the same thing with sleep. So if you're currently sleeping 5 hours a night, if you can get 1 more hour of sleep a night, like you will have slept a whole day extra by the end of 5 days, if that makes sense. So that's something as easy as like starting a night routine so you can get in bed, or maybe watching a little less Netflix and getting a routine and habit just like you would with a child or a baby. So like increase it incrementally. Understand that, like, do you think if you sleep 8 hours a night, like you're going to feel like you have better energy in the day? Your body's going to metabolize more fat. Like all these great things are going to happen. Your life's going to feel easier. And if you're sleeping 4 hours a night, like everything's going to feel harder. Like you're going to have more days where you're like, F it, I have no energy. I'm just going to eat whatever's around. And so that's something simple lifestyle that we can fix. Number two would be how much water you're drinking. So being 5 to 10% dehydrated can slow down the speed of weight loss. So we don't need to overconsume water. We need to start incrementally, just like everything else. So start with, half your body weight in fluid ounces. Maybe it's starting with a large glass with every meal you take down, something that simple, and then increasing it and seeing how you feel. I try to not do it too late at night because then it's going to affect my sleep, because I have to get up and pee all night. So like I'll get on it right away in the morning and I do it throughout the day. So making sure that you consume enough water will ensure that, like, as you're dealing with these stresses and shuttling the stuff into your muscles and working out hard, like super important. Okay. Number 4 is daily activity. So this one's super simple. It looks a lot like exercise, but it's not. So it's easily confused. And it's really about how active you are outside of your exercise routine. So a lot of us have sedentary jobs, myself included. I own a gym, but I'm sitting at a desk pretty much 90% of the day. So what I do is I track my steps, and you can track something just on an app on your phone, and set your daily habit. I do 10,000. You can start with like 8,000, 7,000, somewhere in there. And like what you're going to find is the same things I found is like, I think I'm really active, but then Saturday and Sunday come around when I'm not at the gym or running around as much, and I'll find myself like watching a little too much football and not walking. And so my 10,000 steps on Sunday drops to about 2,000 if I don't intentionally take 2 walks. So finding time to walk, and like if you're training 4 days a week, but 3 days a week you are watching 3 hours of Netflix, that's something super simple that you can change to not only help you with recovery, help with your energy levels, your recovery process, but it also will create that caloric deficit that we're looking. And remember, this is just a math concept that we are going to use to see progress forever. Okay. And then the last one, my favorite, is to gain muscle. So gaining muscle is a super important part of transforming the way you look and feel. So usually people start the gym with wanting to lose weight or lose body fat or increase the way they look. But like if we only do cardio and you never focus on like improving your lifts and getting stronger, you're not ever going to change your body as drastically as you could. So simple ways to tell if you're gaining muscle are to track your lifts and make sure that they're increasing over time. Okay. Do enough volume work for hypertrophy and just raw strength stuff. So there's many different ways you can gain muscle to see progress, and the benefits from gaining muscle or having these periods where you focus on eating a little more food and like getting stronger and gaining weight is it'll create more caloric deficit through the fact that your total daily energy expenditure goes up as you add lean muscle tissue to your body without doing anything is going to burn more calories. So like that's why we do the strength movements here, and like it's not one thing or the other. Like we could increase like cardio and do cardio all the time, but like unless like that's eventually going to stop seeing progress, right? So if you do like 5, 6 days a week of cardio and you never do any strength training, like you're gonna feel like no matter how perfect your diet is over time, like you're gonna kind of reach this ceiling that you can't seem to break through, and you're not happy with the body you want. So like we can't slash your food down all the time, and we can't double the amount of cardio you do all the time. So we can change how much you spend through increasing your lean muscle mass. So I'm going to kind of put the notes in here, and I'm going to link them below. Let me know if you think this is useful, and share it with somebody that you think it is. And ask any questions you got through my page, and I'd love to help you with them. Okay? So have a great day, everybody. Bye.